Coach, it's great to be back, and it's great to talk about two victories, one against Detroit and one against the Chargers on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, it was great to be back in the Coliseum. I really credit the fans. They both came down to the last play of the game, basically, and Oakland Raider fans, they really make a difference.
There's no doubt about it, and we talked about that long road trip, and then you come back and you get the game against Detroit, and you win it there at the end, and then pretty hectic. You got to come right back and play Thursday Night Football. But, man, did your guys step up against the Chargers.
Oh, they really did. They prepared well. That's what fans don't see. It's a short week, but you still have to do the preparation, get familiar with a new team, an AFC West opponent, and you got to get yourself physically and mentally ready to play. But it was a great job by our coaches and players getting ready. And it really all started at the end of the half on 3rd down and 1. We ran a play. I'll bet you recognize this, Townie. Little I right west, you left. Little spider 2 what?
I think that's a Y banana, Coach.
But, you know, it's spider 2 Y banana, but nobody really talks about the job Josh Jacobs does here on this play. Ingold normally blocks for Jacobs, but on this particular play, it's Jacobs' responsibility to block the edge rusher. Right there, he knocks the edge down, so Derek has a clean throwing lane to the fullback, and that's Alec Ingold putting the ball in the outside arm for his first career touchdown.
You know, we talk so much about Jacobs now, especially as a running back, but you can't play a guy every single down unless he understands pass protection and blitzes and everything. That's where I think Jacobs really is the complete package, that he can do it all, especially he can do it in the passing game with protection.
No doubt, and this is a great illustration of it. This is not an easy block. Very few teams run this combination anymore. That's why it probably is effective, but Jacobs' willingness and his ability to go in there and do things like this without the ball is what's going to make him great.
And then, of course, you still love the fullback.
I do. You know, Ingold had a critical 4th and 1 rushing attempt for a big first down, and he's also done a great job as a receiver. And really, our rookie class in general, Townie, deserves a lot of credit. Our pass rush got heated up, and a lot of the rush came from our rookies.
Yeah, and you got to do that against a guy like Phillip Rivers, who, I mean, how many games has he played here at the Coliseum?
Yeah, and his 1-loss record is too good here, so it's nice to finally beat Phillip Rivers in our home stadium. But CLE Farrell here at right defensive end showcases some power here. He's going to run over the guard, set up a stunt, and get a sack. And you know, Farrell, he had sickness in the London game. He lost about 15, 16 pounds. He played through it, but wasn't himself. But he's clearly now on the way back, and here he is again at right defensive end. He had a lot more energy, a lot more strength and stamina, and man, did it show up. When you can run over a guard and edge a tackle, that's a combination that we're looking for here, and that's why we picked him number 4 overall.
And you saw this coming out of Clemson? You saw he could be this type of player?
Well, he's a Ted Hendricks Award winner. You know who Ted Hendricks was.
Yes.
So, yeah, we did see a lot of talent. But you know what you do like about him the most? And Mike Mayock says it well, as we know he's a foundation player. He's got great football character. He played through some tough moments for about 3 or 4 weeks, and he just kept working, believing in himself, and it's great to see him get some payday there the other night.
Yeah, the one thing that I noticed being on the sidelines is the motor never stops. No matter what's going on, good or bad, the motor never quits.
Yeah, and that's how he practices, and that's just who CLE Farrell is. And he's got a friend on the other side that has an equally effective motor in this Max Crosby. You see Max over here on the left side. He doesn't always get the sacks, but I don't put a lot of salt in the sacks. You know, factor grade. What are you doing to impact the game? He beats the right tackle. He gets a hit on Rivers, and this ball's thrown. It's end over end, and it's a credit to Crosby. He's really improving week in and week out. We can play him on the left or the right, and his factor grade. He's just a factor on a lot of plays. Here's a wide receiver trying to chip him, and there's a left tackle trying to block him, but he just keeps working, keeps hunting. And there's Benny Mayowa with the strip sack. How about Benny Mayowa? Is he a good story?
No doubt. Hey, the great Brent Musburger calling Mad Max. And the one thing about Mad Max is he's always engaged throughout the entire game. Like he's always, as a rookie, firing up the crowd for every play. You don't see that a lot.
I know. We see it on Wednesday and Thursday. I'd say, cool it. Save some of that energy. But this Mayowa on the left, Benny Mayowa, I call him Benny and the Jets. because he's got 7 sacks. He's got more sacks than some of the perennial Pro Bowlers right now, and he's doing it with plays like this. He's got great hand usage. They have a back over there to chip him, and he just keeps hunting. And Brenston Buckner, our defensive line coach, also deserves a lot of credit. The pass rush really decided this football game, and you got to rush the passer again this week for us to have a chance.
I think about what your guys are doing on defense. I think about on offense. Rookies have scored 13 touchdowns. That's by far more than anybody else. You've mentioned it a lot, especially after games when you talk to the team in the locker room about how young you guys are, about buying stock in this team. I mean, that's something you truly believe in your young players. You're building that foundation for a championship team.
I do, and I think their production is one thing. I think their work ethic is another. These are guys that are going to help the Raiders in the future, I think, return to greatness. And we got to continue to stack draft classes, certainly, but you couldn't be more proud of Josh Jacobs, Alec Ingold, Hunter Renfrow, Foster Moreau. I even count Darren Waller as a rookie. It's his first year playing. You throw in Max Crosby and Trayvon Mullen starting at corner now. We've had a lot of guys really step up and help us. Our punter's a rookie, a clear improvement from last year. So to credit to Mike Mayock and to a lot of people for finding these guys, and our assistant coaches have done a nice job.
You went through a very tough stretch, and you're right in this thing with the Kansas City Chiefs for the AFC West, and now you got Cincinnati come to town. They haven't had a great year, but they're dangerous.
They are dangerous. Carlos Dunlap, Geno Atkins, perennial Pro Bowl players. Will Jackson's a great corner. Mixon led the NFL in rushing last year, at least the AFC. We got a lot of respect for the league. You saw what Atlanta did last week going to New Orleans. You saw what Evansville basketball did to Kentucky Wildcats. This is sports. Anything can happen. You'll get what you deserve. And we're missing some key players. We lost Carl Joseph, a man that helped close out the Lions, a man that intercepted Rivers on the last play of the game, out for the year. We don't think Joyner's going to play. So we have some issues right now. We need some more people to step up.
But as you said, Coach, back home, Black Hole, Raider Nation, going to be fun on Sunday.
It's always fun in the Black Hole. Hope you guys all get out there, and you'd be proud of these players. Thanks for your support.
Let's go get a win, Coach.
You got it, Townie. All right.